I'm Jeannie.
And we're the Loose Thread Stitchers. And today we're in Jeannie's sewing room. It's different. It's pretty. I wish I could show you more. If you saw my eye candy, you'd be very happy. Today is October 28th. It's Friday, and this is video number 10. So welcome in. We have 2 full hands of video.
All the fingers.
Oh, yeah, all the fingers. Now we have to move to toes.
Or your hands and my hands.
Oh, we can do that. So we have 10 more hands.
Yeah, fingers.
Fingers, yes. It's fall here. It's cold, but now this weekend we're getting up into the 60s again. So Halloween, the kids will be trick-or-treating and it'll be 60 out. So I'm very happy for the kids. That's very nice. But everything's, leaves are pretty much done. Starting to look like the dull old winter. We've had one snow, melted, but here we are. Okay, so we'll start with our cross stitch. And first thing is FFO'S. Do you want me to go first? Because you have way more than I do. I have one FFO, but I have
She's
an FFO.
hiding it?
I'm hiding it because I didn't want Jeannie to see. This is my FFO. It's a drum. And I got this kit when we went down to Osage to meet Charlotte and Mary, the ladies that we met at Hands-On Design class. And it came as a kit. Everything was in it. And
Beautiful.
so Charlotte got it too. And she got the kit without thread. And I looked, and you can get the kit in different ways. You can, not thread, without fabric. You can get it with or without fabric. And then you can just get the pattern too. And the pattern is there by La Di Da. And it's called
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's very pretty. And so Charlotte and I did a little stitch along. We both started it at the same time, and we were sending each other pictures of, so it says together. And then this cute little pillow. I just love this little pillow.
And your needle, or your pin?
Yeah, you came with the pin and the ribbon.
Oh.
I followed Vanna Pfeiffer's drum tutorial, and then it gives you directions too. So between the two, I got it.
I like the stitching on the top and the bottom and together, and then the seam in the back.
And then the seam has it too. And that took me a little bit to figure out.
Okay, so it's stuffed with?
It's stuffed with fiber fill and the walnut shells. Vanna Pfeiffer, about 3/4 of the way, she stuffs it and stuffs it and stuffs it, and then she throws the walnut shells in, and then she finishes stuffing it with the fiber fill.
So the walnut shells aren't in the bottom?
No, you stuff it upside down. She puts the top on first, then you turn it over, you stuff, and you use a chopstick, and then when you get about 3/4 of the way, she pours in about a cupful of walnut shells, and then she puts more fiber fill in.
So there's not batting in the top, that's all stuffing?
No, there's batting. There's a bunch of batting. You start with a big circle, the size of your, what's this cardboard called? They call it, not chipboard, it's something else. Anyway, it's cardboard, and then she did 6 battings, circles the same size as your cardboard, and then she did smaller and smaller and smaller circles of batting. So that's what I did. Wow. And then Jeannie and I, we were at that Unique Boutique. We talked about that last time, but this was a totally different Unique Boutique, what, a year ago maybe?
Yeah.
One of the stops is an antique store, and they had these cloches, and she had 2 of them. So Jeannie bought one and I bought one.
So it was only fair.
Yeah. So they look like this, and this sits on my coffee table in my living room. So I'm putting it in the cloche.
Oh
so
my.
It'll look like that on my coffee table.
Oh.
So it's very, very beautiful. And my husband, which is funny, I didn't even think, because I've had this sitting on our coffee table empty. And I had it bagged up in bubble wrap to bring to Jeannie's. And my husband this morning goes, "Where's that bottle?" And I'm looking around going, what bottle? He goes, the bottle. You had a bottle on the coffee table. Where did it go? I said, oh, I'm bringing it to Jeannie's for my floss tube.
He didn't think he broke it, did he?
No, but I think he was worried the cats did something to it. Or I don't know, but it was funny because he calls it a bottle, but I didn't even think he noticed it sitting there. So now he'll have to notice because it'll have something in it. So I'm very excited. I have it done.
Don't you just love the finished drum?
I do. So now I want to do one for every season. It's like, what can I do next? I'd probably have to do a Christmas one next because there's no way I'd make it. I mean, I was working on this every single night. Because I put this in my Whipco. I switched out my 2 samplers that I was going to work on, and I worked on this since I was doing it with Charlotte. I didn't want to, stop. And she finished hers too. She's at a finishing class this weekend in Osage at the Stitchery Nook. Liz, the owner, is doing a finishing class for ornaments, and so she said she was going to bring her drum with her to see if she could figure out how to finish it. So that'll be interesting to see her, but I didn't show her my picture, so she'll get it on the floss too. She'll see it. So now it's your turn for FFO'S. I have one, she has many.
Yeah, but that's hard to follow.
Oh, trust me, you do just fine, Jeannie.
Some of the finishes I had last month, I fully finished them. So here is the Quaker pumpkin.
Oh, that's so cute.
Finished into a pillow.
Oh, that's so cute.
The little pumpkin.
You really, when you see a pattern and you like the pattern, it's funny because then when you really see it in person, it's just that much better.
Samples do make a difference.
It does. It just...
Yes. Okay, here's a Scarlet House. Hello Fall.
Oh, isn't that funny? I would have never guessed that would be a Scarlet House. It doesn't look like a normal Scarlet House.
Used, I think it's 14 count, but I wanted to use sulkies. So I changed it up a little bit and I made that.
Oh, you put a different color in that.
Yeah, instead of the
gold,
goldish, I did more of a orangey peach.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Then this was the pumpkins that I showed last week, and then it had the little pink keep there. So here is the pumpkins into a pillow.
So cute, a little pumpkin little thing there.
Yeah, and then I got the date.
Oh, you've got
charm.
Yeah. Do you want to see that? See, it's 2022. And then, whoops.
And then the pumpkin.
Yeah, and there's the pumpkin.
And then here's the little pumpkin on the cake stand. Okay. And then the Prairie Schooler, a Prairie Year. I've done a couple of those. So this was...
Oh, that's cute. I love the fabric.
Was the pumpkin.
I'm a quilter. It's like, I look at the fabric.
And I don't know... on these pumpkins, it was 18 count, Ada Fawn. This, I don't know. It was a scrap I had. And then I showed this finished last week. Ho, ho, ho. Last month. Yeah.
Feels like a week.
Yeah. Last month. And here's my...
Oh, that's so cute.
My pillow.
Oh.
That's got walnut shells. So
oh,
it's
it does.
Kinda,
so it's more smushy.
Kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. We usually don't do too many walnut shells. That's very cute. And there's her fabric on the back, little presents. Of course, that's what Santa would bring you.
Yes. And then my Primrose Cottage Stitches, October 9 patch is up here.
Oh.
On the...
Tree.
Yeah, and this one here too was last year's Halloween cross stitch, and we got these little hoops at Michael's, and see they have already decorated, so I just put in.
Here's her. Yep.
Yeah.
And it says "Boo to you" on the back.
So, then while you got that down, talk about Boo to You. It's Prairie Schooler. So I got these frames from Hobby Lobby last year, and they were a little longer. than what this showed. So I added the trim, or I stitched the trim on the top and bottom
Oh yeah.
to make them fit.
Sure.
So I got the moon and
That's all stitched, isn't it? The black and everything. So that's almost like full coverage except for the borders.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stitching.
So then I made little pillows too out of the other ones. And it's got the baker's twine on them.
Oh, you want to show this one? I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
Same thing. She put the border on the bottom and the top.
Yeah.
That's very, very cute.
They fit then.
Yeah.
And then there's those.
You're gonna hang those there too, aren't you?
No, these don't hang. These I had sitting on my cabinet downstairs, just kind of on the
okay.
shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cute.
And then I showed, this was the stitch along with the Corn Husker State Stitchers. And I've got that framed.
Oh, nice, Jeannie. Look at that.
So,
That's beautiful.
and then this Trick or Treat. Oh, this is going to be,
There you go.
this is the one we're at Hobby Lobby. Looking for frames.
Yeah, she always brings, she has her sheet of paper with all of what frame she's looking for, and she walks around with a ruler and measures.
I got this thinking, okay, I'll put it, but it fit better in the back.
Yeah. It's it sticks out. I don't know, there, can you see it sort of sits in the frame?
Yeah.
There's a ledge. And the little candy corns, they have,
They're hearts like.
yeah, they're heart buttons. You see them? They're little gold heart buttons that hang on it. That's very, very cute. Man, you're just, look at this pile. These are all finished.
These all fit. Probably haunted. This was a fun one to do. It says, if one door closes and another door opens, your house is probably haunted.
And her grandchildren, for a while they were living in the old house, because this was her husband's family farm. And while this house was being built, they lived in the old house. And the grandkids wouldn't go in there because Uncle Andy told them that the house was haunted. So they wouldn't even go in there to go to the bathroom.
No. It's a good thing during construction we had a porta potty out here for him.
So that's a fitting thing for Jeannie.
So here is my door hanger, like so.
That's very cute.
I love that fabric. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
like
it looks creepy old woods that were storming.
Yes. And then here is another, or this is the stacked turkeys. I had this finished.
Oh yeah, you
last
did.
month.
Yeah, because I was amazed about the turkey. The turkey was so pretty.
Here is
and
fully
she
finished.
And did you have that, or did you find that at Hobby Lobby?
No, this was another find from the Unique Boutique that we had gone on.
Yep.
It was a little longer. My husband sawed it off.
Oh, nice.
So, and then it came with a charm. This Horn of Plenty was supposed to be between the give and thanks. But I thought, I'm just going to hang it up there.
That's very beautiful.
And then this last week, we stopped on our way home in Osage, and I got the ugly sweater. Isn't he cute?
She does. She likes the flamingos.
This was a kit, so it was fully everything in it.
Yep.
Even the cutout adhesive.
Oh my gosh, on the back.
Excuse me. I just think he's so fun. It's wooden.
Yeah, when she found that, she was just grinning from ear to ear.
And then, you know, the charts in here. And enough
Thread.
floss I can do.
Oh, you can do another one, easy. Oh, you can send it to Andy.
I can have a whole flock.
Her son lives in Florida now, so she can send You should just keep sending them flamingos.
Yeah. So I think that's my FFO'S. That's all I got.
Oh, gee, that's all you got. I don't know, Jeannie. You kind of let me down this time, you know?
Well, yeah. We've had company.
Don't don't even rub it in. That's a ton of FFO'S, dear.
It's just fun to have them out now.
Oh, yeah,
it's all
yeah.
seasonal. So next
Oh
week
my
I'll be
gosh.
packing them.
Is this one straw or not straw?
Sawdust.
Sawdust, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have my husband do more projects.
You
Running
mean
out of sawdust.
I just love the feel of sawdust. It just is.
Yeah, it's different
And
than.
it's funny when you pick it up, you just want to squish. I just want to squish.
It's kind of like those. What were those fidgets and things?
Oh
Or
yeah. Used to have those squishy balls and stuff too.
Yeah.
Do you have any finishes?
I do.
Okay. You have to clear your pile of fully finished, you
Okay.
know.
This was
You need your thing. I don't know
Oh,
if I
yeah.
can-
a kit I had gotten at Stitchville. It had all the floss, and it did come with 14 count white Ada, but I use extra leftover 18 count.
That looks a little like maybe ivory or something.
Yeah.
That's very pretty. I love the pumpkins with all the patterns in them. That's just
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
I guess that's a quilter in me, you know, you're always looking for a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's-
so pretty. I
And it
love
is
that.
called Pattern Pumpkin.
That's very pretty.
So that's my only finish.
What about that one?
That's a whip.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what?
Are we there yet?
We're there, and I don't have any whips because I was working on my little drum.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I wanted to make sure I didn't let Charlotte down, you know.
You wanted to beat her.
I didn't want to beat her. I think we finished. She finished before me.
Yeah, but she's not fully finished.
No, but she was going to hopefully get it finished.
Are you
this
going to
weekend.
bring it to show her next weekend?
I can.
We're going to meet up with her.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, I showed this pattern last week. It's called Apples.
And I don't know if you can see, but there's patterns in the apples. You see the patterns?
And it is on 18 count Damask Ada.
Is that what this is?
Yeah,
Oh,
daffodil.
wow.
So,
Is that one thread?
2 threads over
Oh,
one.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can you see the
Yeah.
pattern
Oh,
in
yeah,
there?
you can see it even way better than you could in the...
I just have to finish the
I
border.
just love it, even in the leaves and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really close to being done. I guess it's another Hobby Lobby trip with your ruler.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the way it goes. I had it sideways.
Oh.
There.
Yeah, you're almost
Well,
done,
no,
Jeannie.
what I'm going to do with that is I got this cutting board at the Last Unique Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of painting this red
Oh, yeah.
and then mounting it on here.
Right.
I got this before I got the chart. So,
Yeah, but that's why you have that stuff, is so you can... I mean, that's why we buy that stuff, is so hopefully you can figure out something to do with it.
yeah. And plus it was, the price was right.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, so that's my stitching for the month.
So then we went, well, Jeannie and I, one day I called her because Julie, we try to meet up once a week between the three of us and stitch or something, and Julie wasn't able to, for, it was like 3 weeks, right, I think?
Yeah.
So I called Jeannie one day and I asked her if she wanted to go to Stitchville and Hobby Lobby, Joann's, whatever. So we did go to Stitchville. And I do believe...
Okay, pull out your haul.
Oh, okay, at Stitchville, I had gotten this pattern. This was it was a release in August. Market, sort of, whatever. But I picked up the fabric I bought is R&R French Vanilla.
Did you buy it just for this?
Yeah, I did. I took this pattern with me because I just love it. It's so pretty. Sorry for the crinkle. We had a complaint about crinkles, so I'm trying not to crinkle. And this is French Vanilla R&R. That's pretty close, don't you think, Jim?
Yeah.
And then I got, of course, all of the threads to go with it.
Fancy.
Yeah, the
Overdyed.
floss. Yeah, I just love the reds. There's 2 different reds in here, and they're just beautiful. One's kind of a pinky red, and then one's kind of a darker red.
So you have 2 months left of Whipco.
Yeah.
And then are you trying to get any of these in between?
Well, this one, I look at this one more of a spring one.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do have extra days. Like now I have 3-4 days.
Oh, until November 1st?
Yeah, and I think numbers were released yesterday, and I didn't look, because whatever the numbers are that were released yesterday, then of course you know your last 2 numbers for December.
See, that's what I think I showed last month, the little wool strawberries. And I'd like to have a big trench bowl or tray or something of strawberry related. So you could have the strawberries in there. You could have something like that in there.
Oh, sure, because that has a strawberry on it.
Yeah.
You could do that. I would love a trench bowl full of strawberries from Erica Michaels. I mean, all those strawberries she does. And then this was Little Red Schoolhouse Pin Keep, and I had gotten the floss from it's called Evertote. And the floss
Leo
is
and
called,
Roxy.
Leo and Roxy. And the floss is FALU red. But they didn't have the fabric. So then when we went to Stitchville, I found this fabric. And it's old gold, fiber on a whim, old gold.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it looks just like what the pattern showed. So I thought that was a pretty good match. So I'm going to... And I wanted to, I would start this one like today. I would. I just love this one. This one is just amazing to me. It just
And what's the
sings
count?
to me. I think it's 36. Yep, 36.
It's kind of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
right?
36 and 40. And then this one, I just liked it, the pattern. It's called Autumn Delight, and it's, oh shoot, there. How's that? That's good. Little pumpkin. That's just a little pumpkin pin keep I found. And then I had bought this Witch in Her Garden. And then at Stitchville, I got all the threads. And then just, it's funny, of all the fabrics I'm finding, the one fabric I didn't have was Vintage Country Mocha. And that's what it starts on. And
What
this
kind of a stitcher are you?
I know, I have a 40 count, but I don't have a 36 count. I looked, I don't have 36.
So will this fit in your cloche?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. It should. If it doesn't, I do have 40 count, so I could make it a little smaller if I have to. But that would be a perfect one for Halloween in my cloche, yes.
Yes.
That one, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, that would... Hopefully that will fit the cloche.
That takes care of October.
And then for the top, I found Lady Dot Creates. It's called Onion Skin, because on the pattern...
Cotton velveteen.
Yeah, so I thought that would work for the top.
You just have to go out and scalp a pumpkin now and get the stem.
I do have stems. I bought little pumpkins with goofy stems.
Just for the stem.
Yeah, just for the stem. They were only, some of them were $1, some were like $2, but they all had goofy stems. And I mean, I decorate outside with pumpkins anyway. So once I'm done now, I have to figure out how to get those off. I think I'm gonna have to cut them out, but I don't care. I'll have them. I'll have like maybe 6 or 7.
You have to figure out how to detach them from the real pumpkin and how to attach them
to there. I think most people dry them and then just glue them on. I think.
Or some of the ones that we had seen that were on fake pumpkins had a couple holes drilled in them and stitched on, weren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you could do that.
Oh, I bet you could.
Yeah.
And then I found this is Pansy Patch Quilts. I mean, she has a whole series of these. This one is called Pumpkin House. I thought it was cute for fall. And then this one I've seen, and that's why I bought it. I just love it. It's called Country Spirits Collection Witchy Stitchery, and I just like it because there's a witch and everything in the alphabets.
Oh,
there, that's good without the glare.
That is fun.
Yeah, and I have a little holder to hold things on my counter, you know, to hold like picture. Like if you ever saw Carol Saltbox Stitcher behind her in her Hoosier, she has a little stand and she always has something framed in it. So I mean, I have one of those stands in my sewing room, so I thought that would be cute for Halloween to put on.
An easel-like stand?
Yeah, it's like an easel stand. And then I had gotten this at market too, the Hoot and a Boot. And then I found down at Stitchville, I found this fabric, which I thought would work really well. It's called Stormy Night, it's 32 count, and that's what the boot calls for. So I thought that was a pretty good match, and I like the little wavy stuff in it because that kind of looks like clouds. And
Yeah.
I think
the
that'll be
wind.
cute. But that's such a cute boot. I don't know if I'll make the owl or not. I know there's some people who really like owls. I mean, I like owls. I'll see.
Some people like cats.
Yeah, I love my kitty. Yeah. As you can see, talking kitties, you see what
Oh.
Willow does to my bag?
It's
She chews
willowified.
on- Yeah, it's willowified. She chews on plastic. That's all
That's
I got.
because these charts and things take Leanne away from Willow.
You think she's chewing toy. So she doesn't go like she's mad at me? Is that what you're
It's just
saying?
kind of like maybe if I do something to these, she'll spend more time with.
Because when I sit in my stitching chair now, she's gotten really good. She'll curl up on my lap and go to sleep. And that's nice.
Well,
'Cause
what,
she
then you
used
got to
to-
stitch above her?
No, she's in my lap, so it doesn't interfere at
Oh.
all. But in the beginning, she's all up around my neck and everything, so you got to pet her for a while. Then she'll curl up on my lap, and then I can start
See,
stitching.
it works for Willow. She gets what she wants.
I know, but she's so snuggly. I've never had a cat like that, ever in my whole life. I did not know cats did this.
So we were gone for a couple days last week, and when we come home, first thing Leanne asks her husband is, "Did Willow cry?"
And Tom says, well, I'm not going to tell you. So that means she cried. So then I said, did she really cry? And he said, yeah, she goes in the middle of the living room and she cries. And he says, it's always around midnight she starts crying because it's like she's looking for me and I'm not there.
She didn't ask Tom if he cried.
No, Jeannie did. Jeannie asked him if he cried. Do you want to show your Stitchville stuff?
Okay, so I got a couple fabrics. And these are, this is a 20 count vintage country mocha. And then a 20 count mushroom. And an 18 count vintage country
so 20
mocha.
count would be the same as 40 count?
Yep.
I can still see the holes though. That's
And
really
then
good.
I like to go back into their sale.
Stitchville has a really big sale department. They
Yeah.
really do in the back. There's tons of patterns back there.
So this hornbook and scissor case kit, well, it didn't, no, it wasn't a kit. It was the chart and the little hornbook. That was so cute.
That's very cute.
But I think what I would do, it's a deer in a house. What I think I would do is I would turn the hornbook upside down so I can hang it instead of having the handle underneath.
Oh, on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too.
And then it was, okay, Penelope Pinnan?
Pinning? Yeah.
Pinhan?
Pin.
But you can stitch it as a chart too.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
So I think I would do that rather than to make a chicken out of it.
Well, yeah, because it's so pretty. Why would you
Yeah.
hide all that?
And it came with beads too to make, there's a scissor fob and an ornament and
Yeah, I would not make that into a chicken.
no. And then I thought this, up on the housetop, this house was so, it's Kathy Barrick. So fun.
What's at the top?
Reindeer.
Oh, okay.
They're up
Yeah.
on the house.
Yeah. I'm with it now.
And anytime I can find JBW. So here is Autumn Harvest.
Oh, again, there's pattern pumpkin.
Love.
Look, you notice this pumpkin has a kitty in it. And a
I-
bird.
and Christmas Welcome.
That's so cool. She puts all those little tiny designs in there.
Yeah. And then as we were checking out, she
Oh.
had a display of the little Prairie Schooler cards.
I'd never seen those before.
Well, I had seen them on Floss Tube. I've never seen them in a store.
Oh.
So here's Peep.
Yeah, and she had them right at the cash register.
And then here is an eagle. I forget were they $1?
I think so.
And then reindeer. And my personal favorite, the pheasant. We have one, well, we hear a pheasant around here, so we have lovingly named him Earl. And in fact, my husband said he heard Earl this morning. So, yeah.
And Earl has quite a few girlfriends in the spring. He comes around with quite a few girls.
Yes. Okay, so that was my haul from Stitchville.
And then we always go on a birthday trip between the three of us, and my birthday is in January, and I wanted to go down to Amana and Kelowna and Williamsburg,
Iowa.
And they're pretty much closed in January. So we were supposed to go to a quilt retreat over MEA weekend, and that got canceled.
And MEA weekend is Minnesota's Education Association. So they have like a 4-day weekend.
Where the kids don't go to school.
Right.
And that used to always be a time where we went to a quilt retreat, and it wasn't this year. So Jeannie said, why don't we do your Amana trip then? So we went down to Amana.
Didn't take much convincing.
No, not at all. We went down Wednesday and then came home Thursday. And we went to some antique stores. We went to some quilt stores. And we went to the one I wanted to really go to in Williamsburg was the Woolen Needle. Jeannie and I had been there on the way home from Paducah when we went to Paducah, the big quilt show in Paducah one year, and we had stopped along the way down and then stopped at quilt stores on the way home because at the time we weren't cross-stitching. And the Woolen Needle was just amazing. So I had that on my list too since it was so close.
So the first shop we were going to stop at was over 5 hours from Leanne's house.
Yes, 5 hours.
And then the last shop was 5
hours home.
And then plus we added another one on the way home.
We did. I didn't know we were by that shop.
I neither.
Until Jeannie opened her mouth and saw the sign. So
well, I opened my eyes and saw the sign, but then I opened my mouth and told you.
Yeah. The first shop we went to in Amana was called Amazing Grace Antiques and Gifts, and a lot of people had talked about it on Floss Tube. So we stopped there. I didn't find anything though.
I don't think any of us. This now around that area is Farm Girl Dry Goods Retreat, I think this weekend.
Yeah, it was. We were a week before because they were talking about it. Even the Amazing Grace lady had said she had found a bunch of new items for the women coming to that retreat. And then we went to was Heritage Quilt Shop?
Mm-hmm, in Amana.
Right. And then we there's another quilt shop in there, Fernhill Gifts and Quilts, and that one was closed for the day because the lady had a staffing issue. And then we went to Stitch and Sew Cottage, which is a quilt store.
That was over in Kelowna.
Yes. And then, why do I have them both crossed out?
Because we didn't have time for this one, because that closed at 4.
Okay, so Fernhill was open, but it closed at 4, and that was our first day, and we were already too late. But then on the second day, Willow Creek Quilting, that was the one that was closed because the lady had a staffing issue. And then there was a Wooden Wheel Antiques. Should we show our antiques now? Yes or not? I mean, I do have a couple.
Well, did you want to back up and show what we got at the quilt shop in Amana?
Well, I thought we'd do all that on our quilting segment. Yes.
Well, you didn't get any cross stitch?
Oh, you know what? This is is this hair? What's the one that we went to where she had cross stitch in it?
That's the one in Amana.
Heritage?
Yep.
Because Heritage was a quilt store, but she had a section in the corner that was cross stitch. And so this was Primrose Cottage Stitches. I found this. Happy Halloween. Which I thought was kind of cute. And then I found this. It's embroidery. It's a little bluebird on an iron, and I thought it'd be great to put on a bag. So I'm going to put that on a bag. And then I just found, these are charms. And they're Marianne's Gift by Betsy Chuchian, and she's a quilt designer. So that's what I found. I found a bunch of thread too, but I'm not going to show that.
Overdyed stuff.
Yeah, they had overdyed.
She had this one here, Christmas baubles, but she had done it on perforated paper as the sample. And So, of course, I got the chart. I had to get
Perforated paper.
paper. And then this Blackbird and Blossom as the Rose. That book. And I just thought this was such a fun sampler here. God bless America.
Oh yeah, with the farm, the barn, yeah.
Yeah. And then Quaker Star Delight. Thought that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So that's what I got there in the manna. So that's still the first day.
Yep, but still the first day. So then.
Oh, and then, no, never mind.
Okay, so then we went, the second day, we went to Stitch and Sew Cottage. Was that the one with the panels?
But are we going to wait and do that in quilting?
Oh, we will. So, what about the wooden wheel antiques? Do you want me to show those or not? Yes? Okay. So at the wooden wheel antiques, we found, she found, where's your dog?
It's in my cabinet.
Oh, do you want to go get it?
I'll pull it out.
I found a little tomato in the cabinet. And then I found this little doll, which I thought was so cute. She just looks old-fashioned. I have this little wooden, I'll take a picture of it and show you in the pictures. But it sits above my patio door, and it's, I don't know, it's like it was part of an old cabinet or something. And I made it into a shelf, and the shelf is only probably an inch and a half, like wide, deep, you know, so you can only put little things on it. So I had little colored bottles on it, and then I found her, I thought she could sit up there too. So I'll show a picture of it when, in the beginning. And then we had these quilt blocks, and this one has 2.
Oh.
And then there was another one sitting there, so I asked her kind of for a deal, so she gave me a deal. But I'm gonna put these on bags too, I thought. Or I collect Santas, and I have a pattern to make a Santa, and I thought if I tea-dyed this a little bit, I think I could make it as his coat, you know, cut it up for his coat. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with it yet. I'm either gonna put it on a bag or make a
You're
Santa's.
repurpose it anyway.
Yeah, I am, either way. So that's what I found at that antique store. There were a bunch of antique stores, but there was a lot of stuff that was already closed.
Yeah.
There were a lot of buildings there must have been, I think I counted at least 6 more antique stores there. And all of the buildings there are really old. I mean, very old, like the 1800s old, and the houses are made out of like big chunks of...
Is it limestone?
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
You should have seen my car. Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
I didn't buy a new car. I bought a different car.
New
but
to you, yeah.
Yes, I have a minivan, and it's silver now, and it's a 2019, and we had to go on all of these gravel roads. I mean, she just kept taking us this car, and I don't know what Iowa uses for their, you know, like we use class 5 here. Theirs is white. So my car literally was white. My wheels were white. And it's weird because when you try to wipe it off, even Tom said when I came home and I told him, I said, my car is really, really dirty. Well, the next morning he took it to the car wash, one of those self ones where he can wash it himself. He said it was really hard to get it off of the wheels. I don't know what it was. It was white limestone or something, but I mean, we were going through cornfield after cornfield with this car. And I always name my cars. My other minivan was red, so her name was Ruby. And now this one is silver, so I named her Sylvia, but I call her Sylvie. And so I was telling Sylvia, I said, I'm so sorry. Your first road trip, and she was filthy. I mean, even if we touched the car, we were white.
To open up the hatchback in the back.
Yeah.
You didn't want to lean in, yeah.
No, and I even tried to wipe off the taillights and stuff, and I don't know what it is, but it was sticking. It was really weird. But she did her inaugural road trips, and
she did good.
She did really good.
She'll go again.
Yeah, she will. So show them your
okay, and this is
a wooden wheel.
Okay.
Wooden wheel antiques.
So this little pin cushion here, this dog.
It's so cute.
With the flowers. Okay. I found that down in Iowa, in Kelowna. But this goose with the same flowers I found up in northern Minnesota.
Yeah, it has
No,
the
this
same
one
color.
was in Wisconsin. This was over by Julie's house. This one was northern Minnesota, the frog.
Oh, it has the same flowers.
So it's
yeah.
kind of all,
It must be the same person.
there's no marking on the bottom or anything.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. The flowers are all the same.
And they fit in my case, so yeah.
Maybe you can take a picture of your case and I'll put it in the pictures in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so as far as cross stitch, I think we might.
Did you buy anything in Osage?
I did. We stopped on the way home. That's when she said, "Oh, the sign said Osage," and it was just a few miles away. And that's the Stitchery Nook. And so we stopped there on the way home, and I did buy a few things.
But what else is in Osage is a bakery that has.
The Country Cupboard, and it's with a K.
Yeah, both of them, country and cupboard, are both K's.
And they have caramel rolls that are to die for.
Pecans.
Yes, you can get plain or pecan. And then her husband loves a certain kind of popcorn, and they carry it there. So she bought him popcorn too. But those caramel rolls, if you're ever in Osage at the Stitchery Nook, it's just 3/4 of the way down the block. And even if you go during the day, which we found out we were later in the day because we were heading home, they have them in the freezer, the caramel rolls.
But if you get them in the morning, they're warm.
They're warm. Even, I mean, when we bought a pack of 4 when we were down there for our class. I mean, it was warm. It was everything in my power not to eat one, like right there. Then it was
on the way to stitching. Yeah.
They were so good. I don't know what it is, but they're, oh my gosh, they're to die for. They're so good. Oh, so if you go, you get the caramel rolls and tell them we sent you. The guy was offering us, because he said you should stay, and he was offering us to stay and have some chicken noodle soup. He didn't want us to go home. I said, I'm sorry, but we're on our way home.
And then as we were leaving, he says, now take your time going home, but come back soon.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. So here's another one of those Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, and this one's called Betsy's Autumn Basket. So I got that. And then I had never seen this one. It's I Collect by Brenda Gervais. Don't ask me why I've never seen it, but it's a little pincushion with a tomato and buttons and a spool. It's right up my alley. How I missed that one in my life, I don't know. And I showed this one already.
You gotta move a little closer.
Oh, this way?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is, I found some fabric. This is 40 count by JU Design. It's called Light Hazelnut. And that I thought was a pretty sampler color. This one too, JU Design. It's called Dirty Brown, 40 count. I love it. They have back quarters and half yards in these bags.
Pre-cut, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all hanging there, so you don't have to ask anybody to cut anything. And this is Seraphim fabric. It's sand dunes, and I know there's some sampler I have that calls for sand dunes, and it's 40 count, and I just love the modeling in it. It's really pretty. That's pretty close to the color. That's it. That's what I got at OC.
So the flamingo ugly sweater I got there. And then I got light denim by Atomic Ranch Fabrics, 18 count. It's kind of a blue-gray.
Yeah, it is. That's a good picture there.
And then this one was in their remnant bin. It just says 18 count in a size, but I thought that would be good for anything. And then
I have to start that. Somebody started it, and it just drove me nuts. I think it was the Virginia Stitcher started it on Ada. And she's just got the corner done of a couple kitties, and it's gorgeous.
there are so many things in this that could be drums.
Oh, I know.
And that's what, Vanna, did you see one of her floss tubes is where she wasn't going to finish samplers, so she took what she had, finished the row, and made them into drums?
Yeah, those were pretty. Yep. And then just a couple of things I had ordered in the mail. I watched Carol from the Saltbox Stitcher, and she showed this book. It's called Autumn at Not Forgotten Farm. And there's different things in here, but there's a few cross-stitch patterns. This one is, what's it called? Old Farmhouse. And it's really pretty. Can
you cover the chart?
Yeah, I'll show you this page.
Oh.
This is the page. It's a pin keep. It's really pretty.
Wow.
That's a pretty. There's some rug hooking in. Not rug hooking. What do you do? Needle punch. There's needle punch. There's this little shoe. She hangs it on her neck. I mean, it's just a little shoe, and you put a thimble in it, and then there's some pins. It's so cute. I wouldn't hang it on my neck, but I think it's cute for like a shelf or something.
So it's a fabric?
Yeah, that's fabric, and I actually have that. I actually own that fabric. But yeah, it is. It's fabric, and it's little, but she has it as a necklace on her neck. And then this cross stitch is called September's Blessing, and this one is in a frame.
So is this a new book?
I don't know. Carol just showed it. I got this at that Thrift Books. Is that what it's called online? Thrift Books?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, new. It can be up to $25. So you just gotta This is the one Carol showed. It's called Turkey Trot.
Oh, yes.
And I just love that. I thought that was so cute.
Big yellow house.
Yeah, and it has a couple of quilt stars in it here.
That is fun.
Yeah, I mean, she's got different stuff in here. It's really, and I mean, it's the Not Forgotten Farm, Lori Brecklin. I didn't know she had made a book, and this says new on the back, but I had gotten it from, I think it was called Thrift Books, and I don't think I paid more than $5. And it said it was used, and if this is used, whoever had it took really good care of it, or didn't use it at all.
Is there copyright inside the front cover?
Copyright 2013, so that's old, right? Yeah.
If you consider 9 years
Yeah,
old.
I mean, Amazon even has it for sale, and I think that's where I saw it for $25. But, and then I had this fabric I ordered. It's one of those things that finally came. Who knows? And it goes to something. I don't know.
Oh, there was a purpose when you ordered it?
Yeah. It's 32 count Sahara Belfast linen. So it's called Sahara. Cut vintage Sahara. It's kind of a yellowy mottled.
Oh, the modeling on it is great.
Yeah, but it's more yellow than what you're seeing. I don't know if I can. Yeah, it isn't. It's
kind of buttercream.
Yeah, that's a very good word for it. And so I'll hang on to it because obviously it goes to something. I mean, I think I couldn't even find it in my emails anymore, so I don't know. It was probably part of another order that I got.
And who's the manufacturer?
Don't know.
Oh.
Doesn't say. It's from 123 Stitch, but it says quarter yard, 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast linen.
Oh, and 32 count. Yeah, that would be because you don't.
I don't do 32 count.
For your
and
stash.
I must have had to get 32 count because it must be a specific size for something.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
I normally, if it's not sized for a box or a whatever, I would shoot to 40. So I don't. This has got to be. It'll be interesting to find out what it's for.
Just don't misplace that.
Yeah. And then somebody was at Hobby House. Somebody was showing, it was one of the floss tubes. Somebody was at Hobby House and they were filming. And I can't remember. I was going to remember who it was.
It wasn't Missy from Tunia's Pulling Thread.
No, it was before that. This was quite a while ago.
Okay, then was that Steph?
Maybe it was Steph. Might have been Steph. Jeanette Douglas did this series called Letters from Mom. And and what she had shown, Hobby House had on the shelf, all of these patterns were together. Kind of like Anniversaries of the Heart, or, where they put all the squares together. And this is called Letters from Mom. I was trying to see if there was a picture somewhere of them all together, but I don't think there is.
How many are in there?
And it was a block of the month at some point. I don't know when. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And so I'll just show them to you, but they all go together. And Letters from Mom, this one says Letters from Mom in it, and this is the middle. I know that. This is the middle. And this says Forgive First. And what you get with it is you get the thread for that block. You get this, can you see the colored thread there?
Oh, so you got the actual block of the month.
I did, and I got it from, what's the place in Canada?
Evertoe?
Traditional Stitches. And they even advertised it as a block of the month. So I signed up for it because they said every month you'll get a pattern. And they don't have the fabric yet. They told me when they get the fabric, they'll send it. Well, they sent them to me all at one time. So it was a little chunk of dough. But anyway, here's a token of love. And again, you get the thread for that little block. And everyone is different. I don't know who the thread is by because it probably says.
Oh, it doesn't have any hang tags on it.
No, and it's all variegated, really variegated. And this one says kindness speaks. This is April. This says live peaceably, and again, it's got the thread with it. And they're little. They're not real big. This is love gains. This is proceed as the way opens. Again, there's the thread. And it's a variegated thread, so I'm not sure, because like this has to have more than just that thread.
Well, then you maybe use previous threads to finish?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because this is seasoned friend.
Ooh, I like August.
August is let your life speak, and there's a peacock. This is Forget Me Not. Well, this is 2018, so this must be when the patterns were out. And this is with Grateful Heart. This is October. This is November, Remember Me. I love those red flowers. Oh, those are gorgeous. This is Family Matters, December.
So are you going to do them individually? Or?
No, I want to do it all together. It was gorgeous. When she scanned that, it was absolutely gorgeous. And I was going to see here.
It really doesn't tell you.
No, I was going to see if she shows you a picture.
Okay, look at the back.
Oh my gosh, look at all of the threads.
You need for all 12.
Yeah, look at them.
Gentle Art, Week Dye Works, Classic Color Works, Cottage Garden Threads. And then it tells you the colors used in January, and then Mill Hill Beads.
Oh, here. Can I show this? What do you think? I'll show it quick. This is them all together. See, they all go together.
And then the one in the letters from Mom must be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, this is the middle. Letters from Mom. That's the middle. And then all these little ones go around it. And it was in a frame, and it was sitting on a shelf. I think it was Steph. I think you're right. She was spanning, and when she did that, I went, oh my God, and I packed it. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm hoping that would be, it'd be kind of nice to do do one a month or something. Because they're little. They're not very, I don't think they would take very long to do one.
Yeah. There's beads.
Yeah. But there's a lot of threads, so I guess I'll have to start, well, some of the threads I have. So it was just, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you're watching the video and all of a sudden you go, and you back it up. It's like, and so I started looking for it and I couldn't find it. And then it popped up on Traditional Stitches, and she still talked about it being a monthly thing and they'd send you one a month. Well,
there's 41 Gentle Art threads. So it's probably close to 100
threads. Hopefully I have a lot.
There is a DMC conversion.
I just thought it was beautiful, so we'll see. It just, I don't know.
Do you know what the count of the fabric is she's going to?
Oh, I want to say it was 36.
Okay.
But I don't remember the name. But she said when they get it, it was something, I'm sure it was either by R&R or something that you can't get. And she said she would send it when it became available. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so I think as far as cross stitch goes, I think we're done, right?
Oh, I just wanted to show one thing. Oh, excuse me. The two grandkids had soccer tournaments in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And Chippewa Falls is the home of Leinenkugel's beer. So, being with my husband and son, we went to Jimmy John's to eat subs, and we were like a mile. So, okay, we got to go down there. So, we've done the tour several times, but they have a great gift shop. So, I got this canvas bag while I was there. It had two handles, but I thought, I put a zipper in, and I reconfigured the handle for a project bag. Isn't that fun? I mean, that's when I saw it, I thought you see doilies.
Yep. I see things. Yep. What can you make
So
into a
you
project
can
bag?
even find a project bag at Liney's. I don't know what chart or project I'll put in there.
Well, but it has barns and stuff on it. You can
Yep.
use it for all
Corn.
different things. Yeah, it has a deer.
Cows,
Mm-hmm.
fish.
Yep. You could use it for a few things.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't want to watch quilting, we'll see you next time. It'll probably be at the end of November, I'm guessing, maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, we're just crazy. Okay, so we'll see you next time if you're done with, if you don't want to watch quilting. And
Like and subscribe.
yep, and we'll move on to quilting. FFO'S. I do have an FFO in quilting. This is a quilt. I'd gotten the kit, again, I think it was when we went down to Texas, to the big quilt show in Texas.
5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. This was in a quilt store. I just love all of her patterns. Quilt designs by Lori Smith. She's called From My Heart to Your Hands, and she does a lot of applique. I have so many of her applique patterns. And actually, one of the ones I showed last time was one of her, it was fit to frame. And I'm working on a small applique, and I have 4 of them done. I almost have 5 done. I was trying hard last night to finish it, but I couldn't. This one here with the turn dashes, it was a kit. And I bought it, and then when I opened the kit and stuff, there were a lot of the fabrics in it I didn't like. So I would say about 1/3 of the fabrics I used from the kit, and then I just pulled from my stash. Because a lot of them were plaids and directional, and I don't know. They just weren't.
Did you see the
Yeah, the finished one was hanging, and I loved it. That's why I bought the kit.
But was it with those fabrics?
Well, that's what I'm wondering is if it wasn't. If they subbed it out or something, because I don't know. But anyway, I started and finished it, and here it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's supposed to fit in a frame. It's supposed to be 18 by 24. And the border here is supposed to be, you cut it. You cut the border at 1 1/16. Seriously, to fit the frame.
Okay.
And you just do this black little strip. Well, I wasn't going to put it in a frame, and then I thought I was just going to, this is my own black. The black they sent was really weird. But I thought, I'm not going to put a black up against all of these half square triangles.
Oh.
To me, it would be like there's nowhere where it finishes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So then I just put in this goldy tan little strip, and then I did my black border.
And you're not going to frame it.
No. I'm going to hang it on my miniature wall in my quilting room. So
Very nice.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's very beautiful. And it's all Civil War prints. It was fun making them. Because I guess even though you're making the same block, you're using different colors and different fabrics. So.
And on point, the churn dash looks so different. If you put it
this way.
Yeah. Then you'd recognize it.
Right. You're right, on point. I like it on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I say, this was like 5 years ago. So I pulled it out, and I'm trying to do things for me that I like. And so that's what I do. I'm trying to work on a small and an applique and then a big. So these are my smalls that I'm working on, and I love them. And I quilted
Very
it.
nice.
I put you can kind of see more on the back. There's loops, the big the big E and the little E. Remember we took that?
L-E,
Yeah, remember we
L-E.
took that quilting class
Yeah.
from that lady? And she had a quilting machine, and it's by her front door, and she was going, L-E, L-E, as she's running her machine, and the UPS guy pulls up. And
Doors open.
Yeah, and he hears this L-E, L-E. So she had to tell him what she was doing. That was pretty funny.
No explanation needed.
Yeah. So that's my FFO in quilting. Do you have anything?
I do. I have a little... on the way home from Stitchville, we stopped at Buttermilk Basin,
Oh, yeah, we did.
and they had this kit for a strawberry pin keep. So this will go in my strawberry
That's cute.
someday,
Yeah. That's very
and
cute.
it's got the walnut shells.
Yep.
So that's my FFO.
Do you have any finishes?
No,
Okay, I don't either. Whips. I got a whip. I showed this. When did I show this?
I'm worried about your clothes. Is it getting close to the end, or has it always been there?
I think it's always been there. I'll slide her over. I don't want to break my cloche. Now that I have something to put in it, my husband would wonder what happened to the bottle.
Yeah.
I broke it, Tom. I'm sorry, but I broke it. I'm making this, and I showed one block done 2 or 3 videos ago. And they're 20.5 inches. Each block is 20.5 inches, so it's big. And this one, this is my second one that I got finished, and I've been timing it. Make sure I got, yeah. And all of the backgrounds have the sampler fabric from Blackbird in them. They're all different samplers. This one's a lot darker than the last one I
So
did.
this is cut on the bias. You got to be
Yeah.
careful of stretching.
You
Huh?
do, yeah. And this one is totally done. I've got it sewed and everything. So it's D-O-N-E. This block is done. I've been timing it, and to make the applique part, to just get the pieces done, it takes about 5 hours to glue them and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. To stitch it, it was under an hour. So I guess you make up time with the stitching. Because they're such big pieces. It isn't like with my small one, when I'm doing those really tiny pieces, you got to go kind of slow because you're always going around tiny little corners or whatever. This, they're big, so you can pretty much go pretty fast. But the gluing and the...
And you glue it onto...
I
You cut out templates out of...
cut out templates. It's water soluble.
Oh, that's right. So you ran them through the printer to get the
Yep.
shapes.
Yep, you run them through the printer to get the shapes, and then you cut out the shapes, put them on the fabric. You leave a 1/4 inch, or some people do 3/8, whatever. And then you and it's sticky on one side, so you iron them on. You fuse it on this paper, and then when you fold over the 1/4 inch or whatever, I use that glue stick from they're from Fons and Porter, or they're from somebody else too, sewing something.
Yeah, I got one here.
Yeah, they're red.
You do that when you do your hexies too for
Yes,
paper
I
pieces.
do for my hexies. And then I use, once I get the pieces done, I put them on with, what's the basting glue in the bottle?
Roxanne?
Roxanne's basting glue, and then I iron them down. And then I do Kim Deal's little tiny zigzag. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's just a tiny, tiny zigzag. And I use clear thread here from Superior Threads. They have a dark and a light. And 90% of this was dark. The only light I did was I did a light on this one and this one. This I did the light, and then this little circle I did the light. But everything else I used the dark. And it's polyester thread, and it's very fine. So it's really hard to see it.
So the shapes are glued after you get it turned under, then you glue them for placement.
Yes,
Okay.
I use Roxanne's basic glue, and I lay them down, and then I wait like a minute, and then I iron them. Because ironing them with Roxanne's, well, it dries the glue right away. So like you can go right from your iron to start stitching.
So then that paper,
it dissolves in water. So when you're done, you soak your quilt in water and it all goes away. And I did a sample square, and I did it. I stuck it in water.
you soak it or you soak it down, like with a spray?
I think you got to soak it.
Okay.
Because I put the water in the laundry room sink. And I mean, within 5 minutes, it was gone.
Okay.
So we'll see.
So 2 down, how many?
I have to do 25 whole ones.
So 6 hours each?
Yeah. 25 whole ones, 2, 4, 6, 8. But mine's bigger. It's 3 on each side. So 9,
So
12. 12 halves, and I have 23 more of these to go. But I have all the blocks cut. I don't have all of the...
Oh, get the hard part done.
Well, and that worked out really well. It's a 20.5-inch block, and I have a 20.5-inch square ruler, which is a huge ruler.
Well, yeah, because you want to get it so that the writing, being that is on point, you want it even.
Right. And that was what was bugging me in the quilt that Jeannie pointed out. She said, is that going to bug you? And I said, yeah, I'm happy she told me.
She'd have to walk in her room on her bed.
We'd both be, every time you looked at my quilt on my bed, I'd be looking at it sideways. But that, I mean, it's fun, and I won't be working on these all the time because they take a lot of time. So, again, it might be like a block a week or something.
Do you have some place where you can leave it kind of set up so you don't have to pack everything away each time?
I do. In my sewing room, I have 2 quilting tables butted together. So like when they come to stitch, I sit at my sewing part, and like Jeannie stitches on this sewing table, and then my long ironing board is here, and I take that away and move it over, and then I set up a table for Julie, so us 3 are kind of in this little niche. Well, these 2 tables are always together, and this is my sewing machine is up and running. This one, I have a sewing machine in it too, but I take it out, and then the top comes back up and it's flat. So the back table, I have it's almost like a placemat, and it's vinyl. And I leave that there, because like anytime I'm gluing or something, I put that vinyl down, because then you can just wash it and the glue comes off. So I leave that up, and then I had bought fat half quarters. I bought fat 8s. I bought a pack of fat 8s, because that's what it told me to do. And then I bought a whole thing of half yards. So I have those piled up by lights and then the darks, and then I just pull. I started with the fat 8s for all the pieces. But for this ring, you have to cut an 18-inch square, and then you fold it in quarters, and then there's this arc.
So that's one piece?
Yeah, it's one piece. And there's an arc template, which I can't show, I don't think, right? There's a quarter arc template in the book, and you cut out that arc, and I just cut it out on template plastic. And so you lay it on that folded quarter sheet, and you have it, both ends of the arc are on folds. So when you cut this, all of a sudden you open it up, and it's a whole circle. But you started with it folded in a quarter.
So then you have leftover from that square.
Correct.
To cut other.
So what I do is I take that 18-inch square, whatever's left over, there's kind of a circle from the middle, and then there's a piece from the outside. And I have those in a separate pile too, because I use that a lot for the circles. The middle, I can get a lot of the teardrops, these things, out of that circle in the middle that's left over.
So you got to cut all those circles first so you don't...
Yes, and that's what I do. When I do a block, first thing I do is I cut a circle. And then I take the little pieces away, and you got to get a good mixture of colors in there too. And then like this one, I could put lights on, but some of the backgrounds are this light, so you can't use lights on those backgrounds because you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
But this background was darker, so I could put some lights on this one. So I'll be working on this one for a while, because it's, you kind of sit there after a couple hours and you go, okay, I need to get something done. So then I move on to something else.
Okay, my whip is on the design wall behind us. It is GE Design. It's out of their her mixology, stripology mixology 3 last call, and it was a group, kind of a Zoom stitch along, the end of July, and she gave us 3 different ways to finish. This is Kimberly, and this is 2.0. So I've been working on that. I got the blocks done now, and they're just up there. I don't know if that's, as I'm looking in here to see if I want to move any around.
Yeah, it's a good place to look. You want me to move this for a minute?
So that's what I've been working on. I got the other 2 stripology books, and they work with either 10-inch squares, or there's some jelly rolls. It's fun. And then with her stripology rulers, you do all the cutting, and it just, yeah.
Her ruler, she's like a ruler magic lady. She just really...
A lot of math.
You get a lot of math. You get a lot. It gets done fast, though.
Yep.
I mean, she doesn't mess around. It's
GE Design. She has a floss tube, and...
do you know about that one? Do you want to...
This one here is just a panel. This is a couple years ago, and then it came as a kit with a bunch of strips for the sides. So,
yeah, do you want to see the bottom? Yeah, there. So it's piano keyboarder.
And it actually, the white fabric, the ghosts.
Oh, they glow in the dark? Yeah. Bet you come up here at night, it's like, woo!
If when the lights have been on for a while to kind of charge it. Yeah.
So whips, that was whips. Right? Was that whips or finishes? Whips. Okay. So then we go back to our trip, and we stopped at quilt stores again. The first one was Heritage Design Quilt Store. One of the quilt stores that wasn't on the list was Mary Stitches. And again, Jeannie knew where we were, and she said, well, Mary Stitches isn't very far away. So, and that's a funny one, because the first time Jeannie and I went there, the GPS was taking us, you're on a dirt road, this farmer's dirt road, with corn stalks on each side of your car. And it says, in less than a mile, you're going to be there. And I'm looking at Jeannie going, she's dumping us in the middle of a cornfield.
Well, the first time we went, it was in the spring.
Yeah.
So they were doing planting, and it, spring melt and everything. The roads were really
warped.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, we're going to need a tractor to pull us.
And all of a sudden, I mean, I'm not lying, you come up to this house, and her quilt store is in a house. But I mean, she is in the middle of cornfields. And that's no lie.
It's a big shop.
Yeah, it is a very big shop, and she has her own patterns too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the thin little wall hanging. Yeah, a lot of those. And I found this pumpkin, it's so cute. It's a little kit, and it's just this little squishy, fat pumpkin. And,
squatty.
yeah, and it has, there's wool. It's made out of wool. So I'm real excited to do that. I thought that would be fun. And then the same thing, these are 3, she had a whole bunch. There were Santas, there were deers, all kinds of stuff. And you get the whole kit.
Yeah, you get the noses and everything.
Yeah, you get everything. So I just thought those were so cute. And that's what I got there. Did you get anything?
I'll show you in just a minute of what I'm going to be working on. I'm making a red and white quilt with 10-inch squares. So I've been buying 1/3 of yard of red and 1/3 of yard of background. So then I can get 4 10-inch squares out of them. And I found some red in her sale room. So I got it cut up in my...
Oh, and she does that. We do that a lot when we're going on a trip. Yeah, to not overspend. Ha, 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 ha. We try to focus in on, you either bring a quilt that you want to work on, you bring a pattern, or like her, she was looking for reds. I know Julie in one trip was looking for 30s fabrics for a quilt. That's what we try to do, so you kind of stay focused on something. And I of course...
And it's kind of fun when you stop at shops to buy a little something.
Yeah, at least something to kind of support them, even though maybe it was a shop like I love Civil Wars, and not a lot of shops have Civil Wars. So I still will buy a fat quarter or a charm pack or something from the store. Just, especially now since I do bags and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and my bags are out of my character. I mean, they're not Civil War. I do them for
Out of the box.
Out of the box, yeah. So, I mean, now it's easier to go into quilt stores that are more modern or whatever because you just look for things for bags.
Yeah, seasonal or whatever.
Right. So then we went to Heritage Designs, and I showed my stuff already. So then we went to Stitch and Sew Cottage. Is that the one with the panels?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They had a lot of panels there, and I want to make quilts to put on I have a front porch and I have a bench, and I showed last time the skeleton one for Halloween I want to put on my bench, and then I've been trying to find panels and stuff for different seasons for the bench too, to make you start with a panel, and so I thought for winter, like January-ish or so, I thought this panel, it has blue jays in it and berries, and it's snowing.
I got it too.
Yeah, so I thought this would be good to add stuff for the bench.
Yeah, and I got the idea from Leanne. I borrowed the idea. I got a couple rocking chairs out on the front porch, so that's what I want to do, seasonal ones for that too. So. And
then I just got some. These I thought would make a good bag. Actually, I did get these from Mary Stitchin. These two, I did. Oh, these are all Mary Stitchin. So I did get fat quarters from her. This I thought would make a cute bag for fall. Fall's kind of hard to find. I don't like the glittery stuff, the shiny.
In fall versus pumpkins, versus Halloween.
Yeah, I just want some fall bags because there's a lot of pin keeps and small samplers that are fall. So. I got 2 fat quarters of that because she didn't have it on the bolt, so I got 2 fat quarters of that. And I think this is what I got for the top of the bag. Yep, it is. That's what I got for the top. And then she did have some Civil War, so I did get those 3. And then these are, I'm always looking for 30s. And I try to pick the darker colored 30s because I have a lot of the light blues, the pinks, the yellows. And so I try to find some darker, I like the darker reds, and then a lot of places will have navy blues and blacks. And it's funny because one of my friends, Nancy, and I made the same quilt out of 30s for quilt camp for our bed quilt. And mine had some of these darkers in it, and hers just had all the lights. And even though they were identical quilts, boy, did they look different. Yeah. They really did. So I always try to incorporate a few darker ones in my 30s stuff. So when I see different 30s that I haven't seen before, I'll pick them up.
I got this one too at the Kelowna.
Oh, isn't that cute? Oh.
And it's got a farm tractor. That's what my husband has.
Oh.
So.
I love the rainbow. That's so cute. Double rainbow.
Double.
Oh, yeah. Double rainbow.
Yeah. And then I got some more red fabric there, too. That's cut up.
So this must be what I got at Stitch and Sew, too. Are these fat quarters again? They're all Civil Wars. I picked those up. I think I either got these. No, I think I got these at the Woolen Needle. I think I did. I got these at the Woolen Needle. Sorry. And this too, it's just a charm pack. This is Joe Morton, and it's all Civil War charm pack. So that was the Woolen Needle. And that's actually that's what's next anyway, right?
Yeah, it was another.
If you ever go to the Woolen Needle, you just gotta stand at the door for a minute and go, OMG.
Someone else mentioned that on the Floss too, that she's coming now to Farm Girl Dry Goods, and that was one of the trips.
A lot of them will go to the Woolen Needle. And this was hanging on the wall, and it's wool. It's fabric in the back, and then this flower pot and flowers are all wool, and they had the kit. And I don't know if you can see the border, but look at the border. It's cheddar and black. And then even the background, it's a golden tan. It's not orange. You see how the pattern looks more orange? This is like a golden tan for the background. And then there's all the wools in there. I don't know if you can see them there.
It was, yeah, you just had to ooh and ah about all their samples.
Oh my gosh. It's just, that place is amazing. And you could spend $1 million in there in a heartbeat. You really could. And this was hanging on the back wall. It was gorgeous. And like the boot and the flowers, the birdhouse, the star, the flags, all of this is wool. Even the flag coming up and down, this is white wool and red wool. They didn't have any kits left, so I bought, I mean, I have wool, but I bought a few specific pieces of wool. Like the birdhouse has stripes in it. I don't know if you can see it there. See how it has, it's striped? So I found this stripe for the birdhouse. And then the yellow flowers, I found this for the yellow, because I don't have a lot of this goldy yellow. And then for the leaves, I found this plaid wool. And then for the boot, I don't know if you can see the boot, but it's made out of like a plaid wool. So then I found this, I move this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's plaid. It's got it there. This is absolutely beautiful. This was, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. You're up.
I just got a couple. I am doing a green and white quilt, so they had some fat quarters on sale. I got a couple more reds that are in, but then this pin cushion, the pansy, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's beads around the edge, so I thought I'm gonna try that. That just looked fun. It's full kit with the beads and everything. So, yeah. Then this is the stuff I have left is from Buttermilk Basin.
Oh, you know, I didn't bring my buttermilk basin stuff. Where is it?
The day trip down to Stitchville and Hobby Lobby and Joann's and blah, blah. On the way home, and Leanne goes, "We're not that much further from Buttermilk Basin, are we? You want to go?"
Yeah, and they were having a 3-day extravaganza, which I didn't quite know what that was, but I said, we're in the 3-day extravaganza. So we went there, and if you bought $45 worth of stuff,
Yeah.
you got a pattern and fabric.
You got this pattern and then a fat 1/8.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I got orange.
Oh,
I didn't get that. I got orange.
I got the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then,
We each got that book.
yes.
And I'll show you, I'm working on one thing right now for a bag in this book. And it's really cute. It's one of the reasons.
Oh, there it is, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's this. It's a shoe with the pumpkins and stuff. And I have it fused down. I just haven't stitched it yet. And I did buy a towel when we were at one of the quilt stores on our trip. And it's got orange stripes on it. But I did last night. I got it all fused down. That takes a bit of cutting with all those little pieces.
Yeah.
But that was that's a good book.
Well, now that book, I wanted to do these stuffed pumpkins.
They're
Acorns. These are the acorns.
Yeah, they're the acorns.
Yep. Here are the pumpkins.
Yeah,
It's a kit with all the wool.
Yep, and it's part of this book. You got the pattern is in the book.
Yeah. And then these are sunflowers on dowels. So I got everything to do them. But yeah, all these 3 patterns, these kits, all 3 of them are in here. Lots more. But that's what I was starting with. And then they had this.
That was so cute.
They had this done in a fall runner. It wasn't like golds.
Oranges and black, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it was quilted and it looked like it was pieced, but it is.
It's this panel. And so Jeannie got the Christmas one and mine is blue. Mine is blue.
Yeah.
What did I do with it? Good question.
I didn't go home with you.
And then just, I think it was Lisa from Kindred Stitcher. She showed this fabric, and I think she had gotten a couple yards of it from a quilt store. And I just thought it was so cute for bags because it's all these old vintage like cards or tags.
Well, that's a different company.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, it's a Kansas shop hop fabric.
yeah. And
Oh.
I went online and I found the store that has it, and I ordered a couple yards of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's vintage Christmas, and I mean, it just has the old old, snowman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's all kinds of old stuff on here, and I just thought it'd make a great Christmas bag. And
I
then
think she was the one going to Williamsburg.
she was, yep, and she was going. They're all taking a day and going to Country Sampler too.
Yeah.
Which we looked it up. That's 4 hours away. So I don't know if they're doing that on the way home or I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not, I don't know, unless they get a day off or something at the retreat. I'm not sure how that works. But Country Sampler is not close to where they are.
Just as close to us, and that's
yeah,
it.
but maybe they're staying a couple nights in the room or something. I don't know. That was interesting, though.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, my space is bare.
Oh, I bought this, the Lori
That's
Hope.
right. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, this is going to be some fun stuff. And then what?
Well, that's your red and white quilt.
Yeah, and of course, want to make it bigger.
Why do we always want to make them bigger?
So this is going to be the design, and I'm doing it in reds and whites. So I have thread. I have 96 red squares and 80 background. I got to get some more background.
So you already have them cut.
I got this far.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cutting.
Well, with the stripology ruler.
No, it's quick.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of cutting.
And I was buying 3rd-yard cuts so that I could get a variety. So I was able to get 1.5-inch strips out of there too. So I'll have a bonus quilt.
Yeah, you wait and see what she does with it because Jeannie's got the capability of just whipping up a quilt, not with the pattern, she just.
Oh, you modify it.
Well, yeah.
I started this one too. This is from Buttermilk Design. It's going to be another thing in my strawberry. So I got the block part of it done.
Oh, isn't that cute?
And I've got this fused down.
Yeah, you got to stitch it.
Yep. And then put them together and sew them and stuff them. So I'm going to have a nice strawberry bowl.
Yeah, you are.
So, yeah, I think that's...
I think we did.
And this is what we've been doing this last month.
Yeah, a lot of trips. 3. Went to Stitchville. We went to Amana stuff. 2. Okay. Anyway, so for plans, we are going to 24 Hours of Cross Stitch down at Welcome Stitchery, November 4th and 5th. It's Friday and Saturday. She's having Erica Michaels do a class on strawberry finishing, and we get a pattern from her, but it's going to be via Zoom. So we'll be staying at there's a church retreat center there. It's an old church that was turned into a retreat center.
Down in Elmore, Minnesota.
Yeah, and so that's where we stitch, but the class is going to be at the quilt store.
In Blue Earth.
In Blue Earth. Because the church kind of echoes, so she didn't want to do the Zoom there. She wanted to do it in the quilt store. So there's a big area where she has tables and stuff. So in the quilt store, so we'll do the Zoom. We picked Friday at 3. So, and then there's another, Erica Michaels is going to do it again Saturday at 10, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're going to stay, we're going to go down in Charlotte and Mary, our friends that we met, for hands-on design when we took a class there. They're also going to be at 24 Hours of Cross, so we'll get to see them again too, and they're very fun. So we're excited about that.
In 24 Hours of Cross Stitch starts on Friday and goes through Sunday, but
Right.
we come home Saturday. We leave down there later afternoon.
Right, we do, and come home just because. So that's our plan, and I mean, I'm going to continue working on my appliques, and
Your whip
I'll have
go?
to see. Yeah, my Whipco. I have to see what got pulled now because I'm not stitching with Charlotte anymore, so I can go back to my real Whipco, even though I changed my Whipco to get my drum done. But I'm very happy I got it done because I love it. So
I'm kind of anxious to start pulling out Christmas.
I know I'm not gonna do any more fall stuff because I'm so slow at stitching that it isn't gonna get me anywhere. So I would love to find another drum for Christmas and do a drum so I could pop it in there for Christmas. That would be fun. So I have to kind of look and see what I have.
Yeah, got to keep that bottle filled.
Yeah, now that it's got something in it, but that one can stay out.
Yeah, that's a good one between seasons.
Yeah, it can really stay out, and I love it, and I love that the blue top is blue and stuff. So I'm very happy with it. I was so excited
Good job.
when I got it finished.
I mean, you were under pressure.
I was.
Maybe that's what you need.
I do. Maybe I need push. Well, with quilting, I'm starting to quilt all my own stuff, and it's so freeing because I was always doing stuff for family and stuff. Now that I told them, nope, I'm doing my own stuff because I'm 65 and when am I going to get it done? So now I get excited when I go downstairs because it's like, it's all for me, not for anybody else anymore. It
took you 65 years to get a little selfish, huh?
I know. I'm trying to get a quilt done, quilted from my bed. So that's my goal. And I got to make a couple shams to match it. So I might need your advice on that. I know how to make the sham, I just don't know what to put in it. There's the quilt I'm quilting on now, it's big stars and little stars all mixed.
Oh, you don't have a pattern for it.
No, and I have a couple of extra big stars, so I don't know if I should do a big star and then a couple of little ones, but I want to put them in a king size pillows so that they'll be on my bed, and I take them off when I sleep. So I was going to ask you about that, and I will. So
yeah.
And what are your plans?
Christmas.
Oh yeah, Christmas.
Christmas, and I want to start on my red and white quilt and stitch in some Christmas. I think.
Yeah. I agree. I'm skipping on them.
I want to get done with my apples cross stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're almost. What's that? 2 hours for you, and you'll be done.
It's a good movie. Or I was going to start watching Pam and Steph last night, and that's a 3-hour floss tube.
Oh, is
this
it?
last one, and it's just on Stitch West. They're going to come back with their regular one Sunday. So
wow,
yeah,
wow. I'll have to watch it. I saw it pop up that it was there. So okay, I think that's it for us. So I guess we'll see you in about a month.
Happy Halloween.
Yep, happy Halloween. Bye.
Bye.